Welcome, and as always, three times, welcome to the Literally Anything podcast for the people. We live, y'all. What's really good? Your boy KP, aka what's your nigga Wood, and my main man D Hood, aka what we doing tonight, Joe Brown, Judge Joe
Huh?
Brown.
I don't know.
That's
I don't.
that's
I
just
really these days I really don't know what type of time I'll be on. I'll just be here for the moment.
right. And the moment said Judge Joe Brown for the alias today.
Yeah.
Um, as long as we don't call anybody, and they are guest crackheads. Like, long as we don't go to that.
Now that's Judge
No,
Mathis.
no,
Judge
yeah,
Joe,
you're right. No, Joe
Judge Joe
Brown.
Brown is a crackhead.
He doesn't talk about crackheads. He simply is one.
He is one.
Which, I mean, what's more entertaining than a crackhead? Like crackheads, to me, like unless it's like your peoples,
Crackhead, the crackhead is the way to get superpowers.
Is that what it is?
You ever seen that crackhead do that backflip off of like a 2-story building? You never saw that?
Oh, hell no, I ain't see that shit.
That shit is hilarious. And then he fell hard as shit. Boom. And then he got up and then he went down into the superhero landing. Like, you know how they get down on one knee with their fist on the ground?
With the power landing and whatnot?
Right, exactly.
Oh, that's wow. That's a hell of a rollout right there, bro.
He did it for like $10 or something like that.
You said he did it for like $10.
It was like a 3-story duplex.
Yo, that's crazy. Yo, all right. So, welcome to everybody who's checking us out. Happy to have you all here. It's been a crazy kind of week. I think we might have one or two things to talk about. I'm not really sure, but we gonna slow walk that shit though.
Because my hot take isn't the situation; it's adjacent to the situation.
It's like project adjacent. Okay,
yeah, I just came up with it just now, but it makes sense.
All right. So you know what? I mean, we have a guest on the deck. I was going to wait for the guests, but you know what? Fuck it. Go ahead, bro. Hot takes from the rip. Let me hear what you got.
So I just want people to realize and accept that things are allowed to happen concurrently while other things are happening. Like, that's what I want people to know.
Two things can be true at the same
time.
It's I say that shit all the time. It's one of my favorite goddamn sayings. Two things can be true at the same time. That's real shit. Go ahead.
Not everything don't have to be a conspiracy. Everything don't have to be smoke and mirrors. Like, two things can just be happening. Yes, Ukraine is at war with Russia.
Right.
Yes, Will Smith slapped all of the words out of Chris Rock's mouth. Yes, both of those things happened. Whether they're right or wrong, either or, they are both a reality that ran concurrently at a space and time in history. It doesn't have to be
some greater power is trying to distract you from everything that's happening. See, y'all falling for the banana in the tailpipe. Like one of these weird ass. So basically, it's like
what they don't tell you is
George
Washington really was a black man.
Oh man, listen, it'd be like it's like conspiracy theory brother from Undercover Brother, like like Dave Chappelle's character. But in real life, I don't know about you, but almost every barbershop that I've ever got my hair cut
that's what I was about
one
to
of
say.
those dudes, at least one. Right. Some have multiple, but every barbershop has at least one of those dudes.
But if the barbershop has multiple, them niggas argue. They don't see eye to eye on their conspiracies.
No, they don't. And the thing is, they both dumb.
Mm-hmm.
That's the secret that they don't get. You get it, but they don't get it. But every barbershop has that dude, and it's like he's also usually the dude that every story somebody tell, he lived that life before. Like, it don't matter how contrasting the stories are. This nigga always got a story. You know what, man? I jumped out a window too once. Like, dog. Like, how many? Like, niggas like that's just the life. Everybody just jump out of windows, huh? Like, I hate these.
Shaft.
I hate these Me Too ass niggas, and they usually be no, I did that shit too. Like they usually be the same bull that'll tell you, like, yeah, it's weird shit. But so I like the angle you took though. I like the angle you took because like that's kind of like when you watching a battle and somebody be like, we gonna flip the coin to see who go first, and somebody like, fuck it, I'm going first. That's what you just did. Like we was gonna wait and do all the introductions in the coin flip, and you did a T-Rex, just caught the coin in the air and threw your hat and start giving me bars. No, I love that shit. That's what's up. Where do I want to go with this? So I like the angle. I'm gonna just close up your point real quick. I like the angle of stop making everything something. Just everything isn't something. Sometimes things on the earth are just happening because we live on planet Earth, and you just got to be okay with that. Now here's a couple of my observations, and again, you're going to notice that I'm not attacking that shit directly. I'm kind of bouncing around. Okay, number one, I find it very weird, this angle right here. Well, why would he attack that black woman? He hates black women. It's a weird angle. That's just people who don't do your research. You don't know what's going on. If you ever seen Good Hair before and you know what that documentary is and Chris Rock's contribution to that documentary, you would understand his understanding of at least some pieces of a black woman's plight. We're not going to go to Chris Rock hates black women because he made a joke as comedians are supposed to. Boom. That's number one. Number two, this is an issue between Chris Rock and Will Smith. This is not an issue for everybody. I'm so triggered and I'm so hurt and I'm so traumatized. All these auxiliary folks outside of this saying how much this is affecting them. Relax. Y'all wasn't slapping and you didn't get slapped. This doesn't affect you. Like, if this was just Will and Tony in front of the deli fighting, you wouldn't give a fuck. Like, if this is Will and Chris in front of the deli, pardon me, Tony's the brother who had some interesting shit to say too. But it's just not, it's not that deep, y'all. Like, y'all make it deep. And here's the third thing. You non-fun having motherfuckers, get off social media. Stop, like, put your phone down. It's okay. If people is on the jokes or something for 3-4 days, that's the world we live in. We live in an immediate news cycle. So 10 minutes after it happened, there were hundreds of memes on the internet, all sorts of funny ass videos and everything. And that takes a while to circle through everyone that's into social media. You're going to have to deal with it for 5 or 6 days. And that's something you're going to have to just like get over. Like, y'all make a really big deal out of shit. Like, let people have their moment. Let people have some fun. It's just, and mind you, I'm the last proponent for fun on social media. I fucking hate social media. And I tell y'all every goddamn week how much I hate social media. So for me to be on this, like, loosen up shit, y'all really doing a lot. Relax, y'all. It's okay. It's okay. I promise it's okay. Like, I don't get this whole thing. But you know, people will be how people gonna be, man. Now, the other part, and this is just, you know, remember when we talked about Ye the other day, and I said that's a hurt man, and I said that. I said I don't care. Like, I'm not arguing the facts or nothing else. I'm telling you from the standpoint of a brother who's seen emotion and knows what a hurt man looks like. Kanye's a hurt man. That nigga you seen on Sunday on that stage, keep my wife. Yeah, that's a hurt man. And I'm not arguing none of the other politics of the case with nobody at all. Not a little bit am I arguing the politics of any of that shit. But I'm telling you, I know a hurt man when I see him. That nigga is a hurt man. And, you know, you seen the other side of that shit. All right, before we move on, I got our guests in the building. So it's a tight little community of podcasters here in the city of Philadelphia. And as you start to do more work, you come across more people. And you reach out and make connections and so on and so forth. And then you find out people that you knew for years was doing the same shit you was doing, just in a different way, on a different wavelength. So our guest tonight is my homegirl Lynn Denise, and I'm gonna add her in. Yo, Lynn.
Hey, what's going on?
Was good. Was
How are
good.
you?
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. So I just introduced you, just as kind of on some roundabout type time. But give us a little bit about yourself, Lynn. Welcome to the show. Everybody at home, if you're there, you clap it up for Lynn, and we're gonna let her tell us what she all about.
Well, I'm Lynn Denise.
Right.
My real name is Denise, but Lynn is still my name as well because it's my middle name. So everybody got to find out who their other side is. So that's where I tapped into Lynn Denise, and I actually didn't start going by that until I wrote a book about sometime last year. Now, mind you, this wasn't a pandemic book. So this wasn't no one of them pandemic books where I discovered myself, because I ain't have nothing else to do. And I ain't knocking nobody that wrote a book during that time, but hold on one second.
We all
Anywho,
got life to live. No
Know
worries.
that look.
right,
we know how that go. We know how that go.
right. But anywho, so like I said, it wasn't a pandemic book or anything. Like I had already wrote the book, but that's how long it actually took to come out. Um, But about me, I actually do several things. So, I'm an artist. I always been an artist, but it wasn't until I went through like a bad breakup and everything. And I was in Ross one day and I walked past some canvases and was like, well, what the heck? Why not? Mind you, hadn't painted at all. Just was going to rock out and see what happened. So I grabbed them, started painting, did that. And so then I would say, as being an entrepreneur, that came about, I'm not sure if I ever had aspirations of being an entrepreneur prior to that. I would do like little hobbies, but I don't think the thought crossed my mind.
Right.
And so that came about because I lost my job. Like I actually officially been working at SEPTA probably 6 years going on. But my first position there, I was in it for 3 years. I knew, that if you don't pass the training program, they fire you.
Right.
So it was just kind of a thing where you just kind of rock out, like either they gonna fire me or whatever. Now I'm probably the woman of like all jobs. That if anybody know me, they know like, oh, where you working at now? That's usually how the conversation starts. But anywho, when I got
We
fired from
met
my
at a
first
job,
position,
Pecan.
exactly. Look, so listen, right. So you know what I'm saying? That's usually how I meet people.
Got a
So
lot of girls in the back, right?
listen,
Don't
they
worry
going
about it.
in, okay?
We good with all that. We fight through all of that.
Yeah. So so basically, like as I was saying, um, met at a job and everything. And so when I left that job and everything, like I just hit the ground running. Like I didn't wait or anything. I submitted my transfer to the bus, went to get my unemployment, and just went from there. Um, and so I, was walking down the street one day and seen this dude, and he had like this sign up that said he was having like some spring sale. And I'm like, do y'all get a lot of business? And he was like, somewhat. And I'm like, well, what's stopping y'all from getting the business that y'all supposed to be getting? He was like, well, you know, uh, probably not being active on social media and things like that. So I'm like, all right, cool. I could turn your business around in 30 days. He like, oh, all right, I've been looking for somebody. So anyway, the long story short, he didn't have nothing in his office, but he had the space. So he was like, when can you start? I was like, Wednesday. Well, I'm proactive. So I called him Tuesday, like, yo, we still on? He was like, well, you come today and come through and see the place. So we got the office hooked up. I put the computer, everything he needed in there. And as I'm there, I'm learning all his kind of ways and things like that because he had been in business for 25 years. And so I was like, listen, I'm gonna just start my business. Like I've been doing this, unconsciously entrepreneur thing. Like if I told you the amount of people I probably work with and help build their business and things like that,
Right.
I was doing it anyway.
Right. And
You
soaking
know,
up the knowledge and getting all of that as you
yeah,
went.
like
Right.
screen printers I done worked with and got them
Mhm.
started and different things like that. So it just kind of I was already doing it, advising people on business. I do have a degree in it, but I'm just saying it was just kind of like putting all the pieces together.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I would say I got better probably with the painting because I used to paint while I was there. Like
Right.
all day, you know, I was like, all right, let me just rock out and try it. So that's how like I became an entrepreneur and started painting and all that stuff started falling into place. And then I think probably like pandemic time, I was like, I need to kind of expand what I'm doing. Like, let's talk about business. So I just started the podcast. Like, it originally wasn't going to be about business.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually going to be called Living Life on the Ledge. And for me, it's kind of like, and I still may do it eventually, like maybe a video series, but it was kind of more or less to touch on like, I feel like everybody is like 5 minutes from the ledge somewhere, you know, whether
Facts.
it be mental health, whether it's quitting your job, whether it's leaving a relationship, whether it's anything.
No, that's real. That's no doubt about that. So, all right. Now, the podcast, kind of like our situation, we our this was a born of a pandemic like need. There was some things that were just sitting that needed to come out. I feel like for people who are creatives in any way, shape, or form, a lot of them really kind of found themselves in their space. And I think even some of those who may have known it was there before, like really had like the heart to just kind of be like, you know what, let's just do something. I got this in here. Let me get that out. And that's even kind of trickles over into being a business person and working for yourself and an entrepreneur. Because like you said, you like, you know what, I'm gonna just do it. Like at a certain point, you gotta tell yourself whatever it is, whether it's, creativity, business, or it is, whatever venture you're thinking about putting yourself into, there comes a point where you just gotta push all that other shit to the side and just
Well,
go for
I'm usually one of those people too, when you talk to people, it's nothing more that I can't stand than a person that be like, I was going to or I was about to. Because I'm calling your bluff to be like, well, what's stopping you?
it. Mm-hmm.
And usually people give you that, oh, it's somebody else, or I don't got the money, or I don't have this. And it's like, well, how long you been doing it? And I would say that even goes back to when you do come into a rut or a change in your life, like a pivot, I like to call it, like where you lose your job. We
Mm-hmm.
always seem to forget our abilities. What was you
Facts.
doing before you became a SEPTA employee or a chef? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like you used to DJ. You still know how to do these items.
Right.
You know, these tasks or whatever you do. Or I used to make shirts. Like I love, you hear always meet somebody who be like, oh, I used to ride bikes. Okay, why you don't ride bikes no more?
Right. You know what? And that's crazy because a lot of the times we feel like when we move on to something, we kind of graduate from the things we used to do. A lot of people like kind of operate that way. And you do it with a lot of different things in your life, with relationships, with hobbies, with employment, with a lot of different things. You take those steps and you kind of graduate. And sometimes, like you said, you forget what got you there. Like you forget those steps that you took on the way up to whatever it is you graduated. And then you don't you don't look back and really appreciate what you've done and understand that those are still skills that you built and that you put your blood, sweat, and tears into. Like, and I
Well, I
think,
think accomplishments, like basically, like
right,
our life
right,
is like a file cabinet, right? Our accomplishments are like a file cabinet. We do them, and like you said, while it's supposed to be the graduation part, we don't take a moment to bask in it because you say once you get your CDL, you like, all right, well, once I get my CDL, I'm gonna get this job. And if the job don't work out, then I'm gonna go get or after you get the job, you be like, I'm gonna go get my bartender license. Well, why you didn't bask in the accomplishment you put your blood, sweat, and tears in before you bounce to something else?
mm-hmm,
Now you got 15 accomplishments and you're not using any.
right. You kind of keep moving the goalposts for yourself. You get into that part where you end up moving the goalposts for yourself consistently, and it's like, all right, and it's ambition to a certain degree, but like you said, you also put a lot of work into hitting those marks. So make sure you really take the time to appreciate what you are after hitting those marks. No, I agree. You got to appreciate the growth. It's very difficult to enjoy any success you have if you don't appreciate the growth that you
Correct.
had in that process.
You kind of bypass it, and I think a lot of times the people around you be more excited about it than you are. Like, you know, when you be like, damn, you got your master's, bro.
Right.
And you
Right.
like, I got my master's. You like,
oh, that's him right here. He do the same thing. You like, you be like, yo, like, and this not, and let me clarify, because he's better now. But like when we first got cool, like he'd do something, I'd be like, yo, that should be like, yeah. Like, and like he know it was except rapping, anything but other than music. Like if it was music, he know he killed that shit. But I remember when you first got done with school, and I'm like, congratulations, bro. You like, yeah, thanks. Like you didn't give a fuck. And I don't know if he was just exhausted, but at the same time, like if I understand that. Like I definitely get that point where sometimes you feel like you got more energy about other people's accomplishments than they do. Because in the moments you just be like, man, I'm just happy this shit over. Is that
I mean, for me,
it?
yes. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I think, yes. I think because I'm one of them people who overly excited about things that other people are doing because it's the, yo, for real, damn, like that's dope. You know, to even make you even kind of realize like, damn, something I did was legendary, or, you know, to leave my mark. I think one of the other issues is if you don't have enough people around you to continue to speak life into you, it dies. You know, it's almost like one of them sparklers. You know how that joint be popping in the beginning, and you like,
yeah, you happy
and
as
then that
hell for
joint
the
be
first
like
20 seconds,
and then you be like,
and that joint don't even give you a signal like I'm dying. It just go, like it don't slow down. It'd be like full throttle, done, and you just hold the stick, mad as hell. Yeah, for sure.
Dakota.
Dakota. So
she's killing me.
Oh man, it's like it, look, perfect comment right here. My man said it's part of the essence of the show. This is what we do, and this is why it is what it is. So
this is
tell
about
Dakota
to be me in 2 months.
Yeah, tell Dakota she's going to be a star if this blows up. No worries.
Right. Yeah. But yes, so you know,
as
we came on here to talk about some topics that's going on.
Oh no, for sure. So we always do hot takes, and Hood, aka Judge Joe Brown, his hot take was kind of centered around the elephant in the room, the Chris Rock and Will Smith situation, but it wasn't a direct attack on the situation itself. Just in that he was kind of frustrated with the fact that people keep trying to make this a thing of, oh, they're trying to distract you from this, that, or this, as opposed to just understanding that two things can happen in the world at the same time without someone trying, like some higher power or like the man trying to distract you from something. Like, and that was kind of his point, which I wholeheartedly agree with. We got to get off of that. Things can happen at the same time as other things. I'm not saying that conspiracies don't exist, but come on, y'all. It's every time it's not about you. Sometimes shit just happens.
Mean, to be honest, I think what has gotten us on that kick is the pro-black thing, where everybody is everything, everybody black. I'm rooting for everybody black, and I'm not saying anything. But if you was born black, you've been rooting for black since birth. You know what I'm saying? So now for you to have this sudden epiphany at 21, like, oh damn, I'm actually black. Maybe I should actually embrace that. Like, you a little late, you know what I'm saying? So for me, like you said, it's just kind of, they have this thing that, and I think social media draws that even more and more every day, that we tend to always be like, did you see that? Did you see this? And we don't even have that same moment in our own families, you know? So I think we have to get past that. But like you said, we're just seeing a whole bunch of hurt people running around. And for me, something that I haven't seen anybody talk about on the Will Smith thing is that so many different things happen in that moment. And I'm sure we've all been there if you have had a partner. So the first thing is that when Chris Rock, who was an old comedian, where heckling is part of everything they do. If you go to a little small pub or something and he on stage, he heckling whoever in the front row. If we even go back to Def Comedy Jam, they grinding everybody up. Look at a man right there who late as hell, who got on that leather suit that looked like a piece of beef jerky, and do.
No, that's
grinding
real.
my man up, looking
No,
like
that's real.
he looked like a big starburst or something like that. So all I'm basically saying is that we have to first understand that when they chose him as the host, they knew what type of comedy he does.
And the thing is, he was just presenting. Like, but either
No, no,
way,
no.
you're absolutely right. When
But
you
but
send
but but
him up
as a
there,
presenter,
yeah,
he could have got a singer who doesn't do. They could have got a singer who doesn't do comedy. They got punchlines. So my thing is that when you have somebody who's a comedian, that's what they're going to do anyway. Like how people are just naturally funny.
right.
They gonna crack a joke whether it's funny or not at the funeral, at the whatever.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. The funny person in your family gonna crack jokes at every situation in your house, and in his eyes, he is that. So
They
it's no
gonna do that
worries.
anyway, right?
Right,
So
right, right.
I think for me, and then when he actually said the joke, it was really subtle. I get it about the alopecia, but I think as Black people, we always assume that somebody know that something is wrong with somebody.
Right,
Like we always be like, you didn't know her mom died, or you didn't know his brother got shot. You'd be like, no, why? Like, why did I need to know that?
right.
So it's kind of like we always had that moment. And then I think once he laughed, like it was funny. We not going to even hold you. She looked like sis, whatever. But it was the fact of that it was one of the moments where your wife be like, I'm going to give an example. So say y'all at a cookout or something, and somebody say something, you know, this your family or they people, and you laugh a little too hard and sis give you the, so that was funny. So you kind of be like, no, babe, that wasn't funny at all. But
I ain't gonna
you
hold you.
do.
You say something about my lady, whether I think it's funny or not, I'm gonna slap the fuck out you. Because I don't know. I don't know why.
And that's
I
how
don't.
you roll. That's
Yeah,
how
I
you
don't.
roll.
I
See,
don't. You.
go ahead.
My family is not the butt of nobody's joke.
Right.
I'm ready to die about mine.
No, which I agree, but I feel like at that point, you know, your people may know how you feel, your lady know how you feel, so that's something that's already kind of like in the works. But I think when you have somebody and you're in a relation with somebody who constantly is either embarrassing you on a daily basis, embarrassing you not only on a daily basis, but furthermore emasculating you. And then I think the other side of that is that people forget is and I just had it on the tip of my tongue, but constantly doing all those things. I think that there either was a conversation prior to that no man, oh no, I was going to say reminded of some other man being inside of her, being intimate with her everywhere they go. It's like you go to the corner store, they be like, yo, ain't that the boy you used to mess with? And then you go to the somewhere else, like they just got reminded on the red carpet by the guy, you know, or my bad lady who was like, oh, we're not going to have any more entanglements, right? And they kind of laughed it off
Wow.
then. So he was already kind of
Oh,
like,
that's crazy. I ain't even know that. So
so, so,
niggas lit that fuse hours before. That's not funny, but that's
well, no,
funny
it
though.
wasn't hours before, but it was 2 weeks prior. Like,
Right.
and you know,
Either
Vivica
way.
Fox and Lisa Ray and them was like kind of because they laughed it off. Like he was like, you know. So that was the moment where he kind of contained himself again. And then it's kind of like once we get in private, you like, yo, everywhere we go, somebody reminded me about you and homeboy. Like whether he approved or not, it keep haunting me. So then, like I said, it's that moment where she looked at him and she was like, it's not funny. And I think that she probably was on main man, like, yo, you never protect me. Like, you ever notice how the universe just works? Like, where she like, you never protect me. And he was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna start protecting you. You know what I'm saying? And
Right
then that
now
was
on
his
the
moment.
spot.
It was like, look, that John was like,
Yo, listen. So damn, I have so many things and I can't get it all. I just want to number one, for people who are upset with Will Smith,
Y'all don't know that
like
nigga.
you can't get mad at how any man protects what he loves when he feels like it's threatened, endangered, or hurt. Dot.
correct.
That's the end of that sentence. I don't give a fuck. How you don't have to agree with what he did. You don't have to. We not trying to. None of that shit. We not. All we saying is that man felt like he needed to make a move on behalf of his wife, and he did what he needed to do. And goddamn it, I'm not mad at him for that because that's his decision to make in that moment. Dot. So that's one part. Also, the second part, Chris Rock is a comedian. he is a comedian from a school of comedians, like Lynn said, where I'm going to get these jokes off in this crowd. And that's just what it's going to be.
Mm.
There are no picks when it comes to that most times. Whether he knew about it or not, the joke wasn't even extremely funny. And it just wasn't a situation where it had to be that for him. But again, you can't get mad at a man with how he protect his. Dot. So
you can't. Well, we've also said it before that you can't do something and be upset with how the person reacts.
Yeah, it's not. You don't have the right to tell someone how to react to your behavior. Once you put your behavior out there, how they react is on them. Now, whether they right, wrong, and in between is your opinion, but you can't
the other
predict
thing
what they do. Go ahead.
But the other thing that I think that people forget too, men are always on the spot to be strong, right? So there's always this thing where, you know, even at like funerals or things like that, or somewhere where a man is not supposed to overreact. They're not supposed to show any vulnerability. They're not supposed to show any emotions. They're not supposed to be hurt by or feel disrespected by what somebody said. So it's a thing of that. The trauma. She's caused this man some type of trauma, and we have to remember that as well. That okay, that moment for him was a trigger. At that moment, he was cool all night until he said that. And like I said, he's had many times where she probably has said, people have said things about me, have said things and did things, and you didn't protect me. So like I said, there are times where your woman will say something and you kind of be like, well, you know what, I love Shorty, so maybe I do need to step up a little bit. It's almost as simple as your girl be like, yo, you never wash the dishes.
Right.
And you wash the dish, you like, damn, you right, I do eat in this joint. I'm gonna start washing the dishes.
And it's so funny because you simplified the shit out of it, but that's kind of a real good example of exactly what it was for him. Like it just got to a point where he was like, you know what, I'm gonna just do this. But again, I don't want to spend a ton of time on it, and I do kind of want to segue it into the next piece, right? So what you were saying, a good point about it was about social media. And to kind of circle back, I kind of told the story a little bit to Hood before we went live of, how we even came to have this episode this way when you and I were talking about the young lady. So for those of you who aren't aware, last week there was a young lady, 21, I think she was. Was she 21? 21 years old, was arrested for a hit and run. She ran over 2 state troopers and a pedestrian, killed all 3 of these people. 120 in a 50 zone. She had just been pulled over by the same 2 officers a little bit before. She posted on Twitter immediately after pulling off, prior to hitting these people, just got pulled over for doing 121 in a 50. That's the reason why we know that, because it's her actual Twitter post. And her Twitter also reveals just her having a ton of inappropriate tweets about information that people don't need to know at times where it clearly just wasn't necessary for her to do this. So we'll build 2 pieces to that. One is the social media addiction piece, and that'll be the second piece. The first piece is just the case itself. I touched on it at the end of the episode last week, but I kind of want to get, and Hood, I'll let you start. Like give your thoughts on it, man. Like
I don't know. I think it's a shame that serotonin has that level of effect on anybody. Any one thing that could bring you that level of joy is dangerous. Like
facts.
Even like I don't know a single person of like sound body and mind to be able to be like, oh, you got pulled over for going 121 and a 55. That's dope.
Right. That's
you know what I mean?
Right. Like, they look at you like you still alive?
Like you think that shit cool?
I don't know. It's I don't know. There's nothing. There's no part of me.
No part of that that's dope.
Yeah, like is corny. Outside of killing 3 people that weren't doing anything but minding their business.
Right.
And just I don't know. It's just it doesn't really sit well with me. Like, it's one thing to be like a clout chaser. It's one thing to I don't know. Put it like this: I've never seen or heard of a clout chaser that just is always on the up and up. Like even the most like celebrities that just like be dick eating all the time, like just
right, like Game and Whack.
Yeah, exactly. Like and think of what Game's trajectory could be, regardless of how you feel about him, to what it actually is. It is very much indicative of just like being a lying clout chaser, like
weirdo.
like I will lie in public if people may believe this and receive no benefit from it at all, other than
still does it.
Exactly.
And he still does it.
Game's the type of nigga that'll walk in your house, take $5 in front of you, and then be like, "I ain't touch your money," and we'll try and fight you about it.
Right, and then
nigga, go through my stuff to $5. I had $5 earlier, and then you pull it out. You open it up. Like, you see how I got that scribble right there. I said I had the scribble right there.
Yeah, he definitely strikes me as one of those bulls. Like, yeah,
he one of them dudes that you have to be like after y'all both your eyes hanging out. He like, all right, bro. I did steal that joint.
Right.
We have
you like so you just had a fight for all this, bro. Like
crazy.
It's been 73 years, and now you decided.
Yo, but so now, Lynn, you said you was going to go live. Did you ever do the live, or you just?
I never got to do the live, and I still do plan on doing it because people have told me like that my perspective usually is a lot different from others.
Right.
As far as like different topics, but I would say, to sum up my take on it is that there are several things. First and foremost, Shorty had two different type of addictions. One is the power of just social media in both aspects. The second part is that she was not only addicted to social media, but she was addicted to alcohol as well. And so when the two came together, you up there like on Link, she said, I was tearing Lincoln Drive up drunk. Like your posts are what's crucifying you. They literally, and the reason why I say the power of social media is because even if we go back to when social media first started popping and people look at their posts as you grow and get families and relationships.
I delete posts every day.
But this is what I'm saying. You have to, because and then Facebook has a way of reminding you when you was like, yo, I used to like, when you like, I like to eat fat. I like to eat fat shorties and dip. Like, yo, bro, like, come on. We're now we in a time it's like where you like like
Facebook
body
memories
shaming.
Are tragic.
Where that John be like,
you I'm about to look at mine right now.
So you see, so if y'all looking at this, make sure y'all go back and scroll through y'all John. Even though you got like 17 pages, you need to go through all them Johns to check. When you used to be somebody, your real name and your fake names and all that. But all I'm saying is that in itself, celebrities always get reminded. Like Kevin Hart was definitely a perfect example. Like he like, I don't want my son to be gay and all that. And he had to figure out whether he was going to save his image by apologizing or stay on his ground that I'm still Kevin Hart, by not saying that and I stand on what I feel.
He also apologized 91 times prior to the time that white people wanted him to apologize.
But
he was like, I'm not
you
apologizing
ain't
again.
Never lied, like you said, and that's just I was tripping. My thinking was closed-minded, and that's just something natural when you think of masculinity in your son. Even prior to them being born, you're like, yo, my son gonna hold a football, he gonna do this, he gonna be like me, and all this kind of stuff. And so it's kind of evolving. But yes, for us, we always, that kind of thing. But I'm saying that like with her, they use that to crucify her. And if that's not a perfect example of watch what you say, not only in the workplace, because your jobs are checking it now, it's just being mindful of what you put out there that you can't get back in the universe.
Right.
Once it's out there and somebody shared and screenshot it because you deleted it, it's been shared 7,000 times. Now they even let you know this many people shared and saved your post. You like, damn, I can't get it. I need to DM them and tell them delete that mess. So it's just that kind of thing. Like, I remember being in college and they had that airdrop joint first
Man,
came out.
airdrop vicious.
Somebody sent the dick pic to somebody, and that shit went to the whole lunchroom.
That shit happened to me in high school.
Shoo-wee.
Well, I mean,
That's
I sent it to a
crazy.
chick, and then they got around to high school.
That you lucky they ain't arrest you for child porn. You know they doing that to them youngins now. They
Yeah,
giving them youngins charges for sending dick pics to their shorties.
One of the original when that shit first started happening in like 07, that shit happened in Egg Harbor Township, like right down the street from where I grew up at.
And that's what I'm saying. So it's kind of like that. And so, my thing is that Shorty was living high, living fly, and of course we gotta have accountability partners that while she made that decision, it's still on us to say, hey, we having a party. You need to also consider, do I got Uber money? Or if I'm inviting somebody, if they don't have no car, should I even invite them?
Right.
Let's start
And
there. Like,
you don't think
you don't
about
even
that
have
kind
a
of shit.
car. I'm
Right.
just saying, you don't have a car. Like, when you start thinking of people, when you going on a trip, you ain't going to invite nobody that ain't got no damn money.
Right. Don't invite nobody to the party that can't get home safe. No, I ain't mad at you. I'm not mad at that at all.
If you don't plan on taking them.
Exactly. No, but see, I guess the other flip side of that, and this is what most people will say, that motherfucker grown. Like, I don't got to do that. And I'm not telling you that that's a correct stance. No, if these are people you care about, you should take the time to think about it in that way. But the majority of people will say that motherfucker grown. And if he decide to come, I hope he got a fucking way to get home. And if he don't, I guess he can stay here.
That granted, guess what? Now, granted, most people will say that, but even then, okay, if you're not going to monitor how they get home, then I need to monitor. My question is still going to be, regardless of everybody there, how you getting home? If I see you turning up, you taking clothes off and shit, how you getting home?
Yeah, no, that's a good friend though. That's a good friend, but everybody
because
ain't good
you know what I'm
friends,
saying, like that's what I'm saying, like because then you're still responsible, and this is where the legal part come in. Where you coming from? It's almost like leaving the bar. They're liable because they let you continue to drink and get that loose.
And get that fucked up. Right.
They're liable. The bartender's liable because you ain't back there pouring up like, yo, who wants some?
Facts. No, you absolutely right.
I mean, so I'm just saying in that aspect that I feel like, yes, while it's an unfortunate situation and it just showed you how quickly your life could change. You just was twerking somewhere and now, you just hit them people like a bowling ball and shit. Like, that's terrible. And then for her to even get a second chance, like some people have to wait a lifetime to get a second chance from the Lord, right? Shorty got a second chance instantaneously. They pulled her over. It was suspected DUI, meaning the transaction was only 1 minute, meaning they said, who the hell is flying down that expressway like that? And so they pulled her. She said, oh, damn. And they said, license registration, have you been drinking tonight? And she probably was like, no. She was able to compose it because she does this all the time. It's not like this her first time. So she already either done that, but her tolerance is a lot higher as well.
Yeah.
So at some point, her tolerance is a lot higher than somebody else who don't drink like that. And you like, yo, you want to take shots with me? People know what they look like after taking 20 shots. You're like, oh, I don't do shots. Now I can do a mixed drink, but I can't do no tequila. Right. So you know where you stand with that. But I'm saying the fact that she got the second chance and they was like, you could go ahead, and she still ended up meeting them. She got it and got robbed of it at the same time.
It's crazy, man. Like you said, just a super unfortunate situation on so many levels. Rest in peace to those two troopers and that young man who was not even from this country, who was actually, well, I mean, Puerto Rico's technically, but he was on his way back to Puerto Rico that next day. He was not.
But you know what people were saying though? Yeah. The fact that people like, and this is where closed-mindedness, well, if they hadn't let her go, they still be alive. First of all, we can't stop fate. Number two, the other part of it is that, like they said, had they locked her up, that probably even may not have stopped it. And then they didn't even have long enough because they got her for speeding, not drinking.
Right. Yeah, man, it's so many layers to it. It's really,
and then you got the people who started GoFundMe, like we need to make sure that she get out and all this kind of stuff. Like again, she got a lesson to learn. Like even if she get out of it, would you stop drinking?
I mean, And you expect her people's. I like, I guess I suppose I get that part. Like, right or wrong, you want your folks to be in a better situation. So, like, and you can't do nothing for them while they behind them walls. So you want to get them home.
What's up?
So I respect that. You know what I mean? Like, I definitely respect that. I guess for me, the whole thing is, and I'm gonna be super quick with this because I wanna get into a little thing that I posted the other day in the group. Want to see if y'all you know what I mean, can vibe with me on this. But to post something a few months earlier, like I'm the best drunk driver in history, to actually let that shit roll off your fingers onto Twitter for Earth to see, and then to have something like this happen is like the ultimate world saying to you, all right, bitch, you think you got it. I'm gonna show you don't. Like when the universe really like spun the block on her ass, like, oh, you really think this sweet. Watch this. It's a very tough thing to watch because she's so young, but at the same time, you're so dumb. Like, there's just so many bad decisions over and over and over again in the same pattern. Like, what was the people around her like? And I guess maybe, as a nigga who done had some therapy, I always wonder what support systems look like around people when I see them go through this shit. That's just kind of where my mind goes. And maybe she doesn't deserve that type of empathy. But at the same time, I want to know, like, who was around her that was letting her get to this?
Like I said, I want to know what
like real shit. Like I wish I had that clip loaded. Like, I would play that shit right now because I just don't. I don't get how you could get to that at 21 without someone in your life saying, "Yo, I need you to pull back." Like me at 21 and the infrastructure I had around me, I could do a lot of dumb shit. I couldn't do that kind of dumb shit. Like, it wouldn't have happened that way. I had too many people in my life on some level or another who gave enough of a fuck to have me in a better spot than that at that age. And it's just, I don't know. I always wonder those things. So I don't know if the people who started the GoFundMe are the same people who was helping her out when she was young, and now they just feel bad because they clearly have not done right by this young lady in whatever values they've given her, or maybe they did give her the values and she said, fuck y'all. Who knows? I don't know what the background of that looks like. But whatever it is, the GoFundMe is a response to that shit, in my opinion. That's just, that's how I feel. But, you trying to unmute yourself, Lynn? There you go.
I did. I think one of the other things that you touched on too is, like you said, support system. But to even maybe say, like, maybe her peoples didn't know she broadcasted. It's one thing if you like, damn, I didn't know my cousin was an alcoholic, to versus like where you informed everyone prior to, you gave them a heads up, and now, like I said, to have that as your headline, like mark your words, you got your trophy because they used the headline. Breaking news: the best drunk driver ever killed 3 people.
Crazy.
Like you like it's almost like when you call somebody answer machine and that John be like, I like big butts and I cannot lie, and your grandma be like, I called you and I heard your voicemail. You might want to change that.
My dad's email address for the longest time was thesenuts609. But like that was before you used email for official things. Like that was like back when your email was just for Black Planet and that's it.
Oh, DSNet609.
So we were in Florida and he was getting our flights pushed back because we were staying in Florida longer. So then the lady was like, all right, I just need an email for the confirmation. Oh, okay, I see your email, so never mind.
But listen, you bring up a good point, because imagine, like, everywhere you go, they like, you rent a car. Can I have your email? And you like, big tits 123.
Right.
Email addresses was wild. Like, oh man, if you had a Hotmail, you probably had a wild ass email address.
I know.
Like,
so this is what I'm saying. Like, to get into that, and then you put it on a job application, and you like, why I didn't get hired, and they like, Like I seen a post and a shorty was trying to get a job, and she was like some TikTok star. So on her, answer machine, she's like, "Hey y'all," and it's time for another video. Like she's talking like this, and she like, "Psych no." And so the person leaves her a voicemail and says, "I was trying to contact you, but apparently you need to like work on actually changing your voicemail and being more professional." And
that's Steph checking in with us. Shout out to
listen, that will give you another chance, later on.
Right.
And so she's like, "Well, this is what I do," but I think, like I said, we have to kind of separate the two from social media and who you are. Like I think some people have a hard time separating the people. Like I feel like we almost like compartments. Like our lives are compartpartments, and some people have a hard time. It start running in. Like you got the people that don't like. I don't like when my food touch.
I'm one of them people.
So this
Mind
what
you,
I'm saying.
As soon as you serve it to me, I'm mixing that shit together. But that's my job. That's not yours. Don't give me that shit.
Right.
But go ahead.
Like you got the potato salad. There's on the baked beans, and you like. So all I'm saying is that basically, sometimes when all that stuff starts to spill together, right? Whether who you are at work, if you work in prison, you're authoritarian. So now at that point, you used to ordering people around. When you get home, your wife like, "Listen, you ain't a CEO no more, so you need to stop because you ain't telling us what to do." And then
when I
that
first
other
started
part,
doing this, I had that problem. When I first became a dean, I had that problem. Like I would like be yelling at kids all day, and then I come home, and my wife be like, "Yo, like Doug, you ain't gotta keep yelling no more. Like ain't nobody here to yell at." Like, and I really had to like separate my two voices. Like, all right, this is home voice.
you have to figure out how to actually manage that. And then I think, like I said, if you are a social media personality, I mean, like I've had people tell me, right, that I'm not the same person like in my videos that I am outside of that. Now, granted, I can definitely ask you, right, that since you knew me prior to all of this,
right,
is it the same person?
Yes, to me, I think, of course, in these spaces, you get a little more of the consistent energy. I think it's the energy. The person's the same because you would quietly say real funny shit when we would like have our conversations in passing, and you was always like funny as hell. It was low key and it was quiet. So like when I see you get in these spaces, you're definitely a little more, the energy's higher, but the personality and the flow is the same. Yeah, it's the same to me. And I think anybody, I think that's why people rock with us on here, because anybody who knows us knows that this is really just the three of us having a conversation regularly.
I had dude came up to me at the gig and shit was like, he was walking by and good morning. Yeah. He was, "Oh, what's good, brother? I was like, "Oh, like I'm hood, I'm new here. I know who you are." He was like, "Yeah, I'm friends with Kev. I see you every Thursday." And I was like, "Oh, no."
I know who that was too. I know who that was. But yeah. I mean, that's part of it, man. That's what it is. We gonna be who we gonna be. And I like that. No,
you're right. I mean, for me, people don't understand. Like, if you look at my YouTube page, it took a lot for me to actually even get the courage to see my face on video and replay, because many people may say you're outgoing, you chatty, you like to talk, but I'm totally opposite in front of people because I'm very shy. So I have a hard time like with even stage fright.
Right.
So me making videos was like kind of hard because you got to get used to seeing yourself. How do I sound? Even on these podcasts, do I sound goofy? And so me just keep practicing. I was like, let's get it. So now I could be like, like I'm real hyped because let me tell y'all something. This one reel I made about gas that's only like probably 25 seconds long almost has 7,000 views.
That's better than any of my shit.
Now I got cursed out. And don't get it twisted. I got cursed out like, "Oh, them Democrats and all that," but run it up.
I mean, listen, I want somebody to have negative shit to say. Just say something. I don't care. Like, say something to somebody, say something about the something you said, and keep the somethings coming. I'm with all that shit. I can't wait I joked about this a lot in season 1 that I'll be really ready to just come on here and just say the most outrageous shit in the world that I don't believe, just so a motherfucker can get a clip of it and be like, "Did you hear what this bull on this podcast said?" And then everybody come look at it, and then the next week I'm just like, "Man, I was just fucking with y'all, but good looking on the traffic." Like I don't want to be that. That's not
But
integrity.
you ain't never lied, like you said. You ain't never lied. Like when I say I didn't say nothing outlandish, I literally hit it with this. If you know by now that gas is high as hell, literally what I'm saying to y'all, gas is high as hell. But I got 3 ways that you can change the perspective on gas. Number 1, take public transportation. Number 2, ride with your friends and family to work. Number 4, look, I can't even count. But number 3, I think the last one was take public transportation. They went off. And usually, like I have been getting like probably 300 here, 500 there, but I don't usually post on my business one. That John says 7,000. I was like, sign me up. I can't wait to do the next one. Just talk about goofy shit.
Yeah, no, and
Like,
that's what it be. You never know what's going to hit. That's what's so weird about, and this again a perfect segue. That's what's so weird about social media, because there's no rhyme or reason to what hits. Like there are a bunch of quality programs, comedians, establishments, and things of that nature that plug heavy on all social media and have not blown up. And they are not, it's not for lack of being good, great, or otherwise. It's just the right thing has not hit. And there are some terrible publications and some awful, awful things that are popular as hell because one thing or the other hit. Or who was it that said it? I think it was Karen, one of our regulars, Karen, who always checks in with us, said people love car crashes. And that's kind of what it is sometimes. Sometimes if your shit is a complete disaster, people will watch it, even though there's no real like love put into it, or there's no real like, appreciation for whatever the craft is that you're doing. You're simply a car crash in motion, and people want to see it, and that's it. Like, and that's the reason why you're successful. And for people like us who actually like take the time to make sure things are right and try and be as professional as possible and so on and so forth. When you put the effort into that, it's hard to see that goofy shit and not be like, bruh, fuck it, I don't want to do it no more. You be ready to knock all this shit over because you just be like,
well,
and then you gotta catch yourself though. But go ahead, Lynn.
But you know what's crazy to me? I think the way that I live life, I don't even strive to be overly professional. And even like you said, I would be quiet, but I'm whispering, and we both looking like we high as shit at work because we cracking up, and they like, well, what did they say? What did they say? You like, you had to be there. Like hypothetically, listen, I'm always saying these little punchlines. So one time this white girl walks in at our job, and there's probably 5 black people standing there cracking up. So she walks in and she's like, what's so funny? And I'm like, oh, we talk about how late you are to the cookout and shit. And I was like, you came empty-handed. And she says, oh, yes, y'all were waiting for me to bring the bland-ass potato salad. So all I'm getting it.
I like that she knew what. Congratulations. Shout out to that white woman, whoever she was, because she gets it.
You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, because somebody wouldn't have got the joke.
Right.
You're late to the cookout. And they like, cookout, we're not eating. You can't, yes. Right.
And she says, I don't like unfunny people. People who don't understand. Like, I get irritated, and that's probably not fair to those people. But I get irritated when people don't get the joke. I'll be mad as shit. Like, I gotta explain the joke to you, bro. Joke ain't even
I'll
funny
be mad
more,
too,
man.
because at that point, I'm like this. Listen, because if you don't get it, I'm instantly walking away. You like, no, tell me. You had to be there. Don't worry about it. If you don't get it now, and then they come 2 weeks later, like, yo, that joke was funny. We on the 10 different new jokes. What are you talking about?
I don't even know what you're talking about, bro.
Exactly. So I just say that, like, I feel as though you have to be natural, because I think people really go out their way to be funny, and it has to come to you. Like you said, the car crash thing. Nobody plans a car crash.
It just happens.
That's like, it just happens. Usually you be trying to, like, you cruising, oh, damn, bam, oh, I just got this car, man.
Man, but
That
then
type of
everybody
dumb.
stops. But then everybody stops and wants to see is anybody hurt? What happened? Was he good? Was they drinking? Was it a man? Was it a woman? What happened? Like it for all the wrong reasons. That shit becomes interesting and exciting. And I just don't want I do this because I enjoy doing it. I do not want any notoriety off just being trash. Like I just don't want that. I
Just,
like
just being garbage because
yeah.
it follows you. Like he said at work. It's always the one person that you never thought saw your content because you don't see them at the bottom. You don't see their little face. They not liking it. And you in the bathroom wash your hands. And he like, yo, bro, your podcast is shit though.
Right. That's a beautiful
You
feeling,
like,
though. I've had that happen to me. That's a beautiful feeling. It really is. Like not in the bathroom though. Don't talk to me in the bathroom. I don't like getting talked to in the bathroom. I'm weird like that. Like we here to handle
so that's
business.
weird if y'all both standing at the urinal and he like,
Don't you ever don't say nothing.
Don't talk to me while my
Don't
dick
say
is
nothing
out.
to me.
No,
not even. As soon as I cross that threshold,
like I don't want to talk to you in the bathroom at all. But you
I might slap you harder than
talk
saying
to me while I'm at the urinal. If I'm at the urinal and you're talking to me, I'm threatened. Like I feel a way. I don't like it because you don't know the rules, and now I'm worried about a lot of other shit now because we know better. You know better than to have that conversation with somebody. I don't care if it's 27 urinals. I'm at number 1 and you at number 27, and you be like, "Yo, bro, did you see?" Like, no, it's no discussion to be had.
Okay, so listen. Okay, so me not being a man, I need y'all to give me 3 rules for the bathroom with men.
don't look at me, don't talk to me, and don't even come in my direction.
Like, don't talk to me while I'm at the urinal.
Don't talk to me at all.
Listen, if we washing hands and we at the game, see, I go to a lot of sporting events. Motherfuckers talk in them situations, but not in the urinal. Again, not in the urinal. Don't talk to me while my dick is out. I don't want to have nothing to say to you while my dick is out. I just don't. Like, no. Like, we don't. There's no discussion of that. Also, always skip a stall. Always skip a stall. Always skip a stall. I hate. That's the one thing about sporting events I don't like. But I'm to wait for a stall to open. Bull. You skip a urinal all the time. Like I will wait for a stall to open before I go to a new. I'm weird like that. I don't know. It's just one of those things. And this has nothing to do with like homophobia. It's just good manners. Like leave me alone while I'm in the bathroom. Like it's just weird.
Hey,
but
you allowed to fart in the bathroom, like in a public bathroom, or you hold it in?
You said what?
When you go to the public bathroom, you let that thing fly, or you hold it in? Like burnt? Like you? Well, people in there.
Now here's the thing. I'm at the point now where I can kind of predict how that's going to go. So if I think it's just going to be a silent killer, man,
I mean,
we in here.
One of them ones.
No, it's going to be a pat, 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 pat. I don't know. I might try and hold that joint. It depends. But sometimes you gotta let it go, man. That's what the bathroom is for. Again,
yo, listen. If that joint about to be an ass orchestra, like the horns and shit, be like blah blah blah.
Yo, ass orchestra is crazy.
Yo, me and P was in what mall was we? Oh, we was in a Willow Grove mall. And I walked in the bathroom. It was pretty packed, but it wasn't like it was like every station was occupied, like a rotation. And dude, like he wasn't like over the top trying to get to the stall, but he was moving kind of quick. And then as soon as he said, because he like got in his stall as I started peeing at the urinal, and she was like, "Wow, wow, 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 wow." Dude, it's some fake Yeezy. Was like, "God damn, nigga."
I love a nigga who don't, but it's always one brother around that's just gonna be like, "Yo, dog, you all right, man?" Like, yeah, it's always you gotta be.
Like he was offended that he did that in his presence.
I mean, yeah, man, like that's crazy.
That white man
you muted. You muted.
You know it's bad when your legs start to look like chopsticks and shit. That shit be like. Look.
Wait a minute. So, right, when you work at a place, and we're not just gonna keep having stories about taking shits and asses and shit, but this is funny though. And when I was working at PCOM, when I was there, I was security, and you said
I got a joke too.
Key run, right? And so at the key run, basically, it's a couple spots on every floor where you gotta just tap the little wand and they check it to make sure you're doing your
Oh
job.
yeah,
you know.
yeah. Clock. We used to call them clock rounds.
Yeah, key walk, clock rounds. Every place has a
Yeah.
different whatever they call it.
And then you could print the shit out at the end of your shift.
Yeah, at the end of the journey to show that
Yeah.
you actually was doing your work.
Yeah.
And you gotta do like 4 of them in the night in an overnight shift, or like 3 of them during the day, whatever. But so when I was working overnight, and it was like a time where like I took a couple overnight shifts to like make a couple extra dollars, and it's different bathrooms on every single floor, and motherfuckers would be in them bathrooms by themselves. That shit be different, bro. Like, and the key joint, like you gotta open the bathroom door, so it's like you go in the bathroom and it's right there on the wall when you walk in, bruh.
Yo,
they in there rolling dice.
No, on God, walk in the joint, right? Open the door, hit the joint, beep. All I hear is this boy go, ah. I was like, oh shit! Like,
no,
and you can hear it sounded like he was pouring a bucket of water in the motherfucker. Like he was standing over that bitch, just dumping water in him. Like,
you know what he was dumping?
Wait a minute.
You know what he was dumping? He was dumping ass.
Yo,
dumping
ass. He had an ass orchestra.
He like,
yo, this shit was so crazy, right? Because when I did my next keyword, I'm thinking to myself, like, this overnight, it ain't that many people in the building. So I'm wondering who it is. Man, come to find out, it's my homie, my OG I work with. Rest in peace to my OG. He was in that joint busting it up. I'm like, yo, you good? He like, yeah, man. Taco night. What are you putting on them tacos? Oh,
yo,
like, that was just crucial. That nigga was sweating and shit when he came out.
You know what's out of control that you said that? So I used to work 8 to 4, right? Up in the telecommunications area. So every day, like we only had like a little like bathroom that was across in that little section. Like, so it was like 3 of us that worked in there. And the bathroom was like right across from us. So it was a 1-person joint. So everybody had this rule like that if you can't do in there because the door will be open to be open.
Right.
Yo, every day at 4 o'clock, my bowels used to be like, you better fix this. At 4 o'clock, I go down to like the 3rd floor because nobody used to be on that joint and go all the way to the last stall. Like, thank you. I couldn't even get on the damn bus before leaving upstairs like religiously. Yeah. Like, and if somebody was in there, I'd be like,
go ahead, I'm sorry.
I used to be like, no, I'm saying if somebody was in there, I used to be like, oh my God, it's my look. Like volcano shit, like, oh.
On some Dumb and Dumber type job.
No, but that
is one of the funniest scenes in any movie ever.
That's when you had to scream and be like, could you get the fuck out the bathroom?
Yo, you asked me to get out, yo. That's wild as shit. Hey, yo, I'm trying to handle something in here. I need peace and quiet, yo. Oh man, I would crack the fuck up. I would probably just sit on the sink if a nigga did that to me.
The only reason why I'm saying that is because you know how you got people who just go in there to talk, like females that do that. They ain't even in the bathroom doing shit. They just like, girl, I know, right? Mm-hmm.
That's like,
I cut all that shit off right there. You like to do what? I'm cutting the lights off.
Oh man, you just gonna start cutting, huh? Hold up. Let me get into these comments. Hold up. Ant says keep your feet in your stall. Absolutely.
Hey, hold on.
If your foot come, bruh.
Yo, so when I was in high school, I had
stories written on the walls. Go ahead, bro.
I had kidney stones when I was in high school. So I'm pissing, like just doing a casual. I was in culinary arts class. Yes, I took culinary in high school. I was in culinary. I went to go piss, and that motherfucking crack cocaine. You know what I mean? That cocaine white.
That,
yeah. So I hit the LL Cool J knees in the stall. Hit the LL Cool J knees hard as shit. Like, I get like the flinch down. You know white people that wear Hollister cargo shorts and like some beat up ass Air Force Ones.
Yeah.
So this kid Joe Giacino, he went to my high school. His shits was like that. And his foot was like ducked out, like duck footed
in the stall.
Yeah, like and his shit was coming over mine. So when I Cool J knees, I just pissed mad blood and stuff all over his shoe.
Oh. Damn. He was tight. I know he
wanted to fight originally, And then like he seen me just like sweating immediately, like holding my stomach. Like I was down bad.
Something's wrong with this guy.
Yeah, he helped me.
Right.
Yo, he ain't never lied about them scribbles on the walls where that John be like, yo, call John, and that shit say somebody's phone number.
Yeah, for a good time.
But
like what, bro?
For a good time. But you know what that made me think about? Y'all remember the textbooks and that shit be like, turn to page 3.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
and then you go turn and it be a dick and balls like there. And then you go to the next John, right? And then you keep going and they be like, you dumb as shit if you actually turn all the way the other way. Like,
yo, yeah, I definitely was the culprit in at least one of those.
Y'all ever get a textbook and then the name be one of your siblings?
I did not. We wasn't close enough for that.
Oh yeah, that's
because they so my siblings are so much younger and shit, but they did go to my school, but they did not like old enough to get the textbook John. But that's crazy.
I had my sister Darlene, and my sister Darlene's 10 years older than me. In 4th grade.
Oh no, that's dope though.
Yeah,
that's actually fire.
I've had it.
See, you also from a smaller city too, though.
That is true. Yeah. I'm
from a smaller city. Than
we have like 2,000 people here. Well, not here.
Right. There, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Oh,
so that's a slightly easier thing to have happen.
Or it might be 6,000 out.
Any amount of thousands is less than the millions here.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean. That's a different kind of situation. All right, so we kind of got off ass orchestras into like, all right. So did you crush the whole box, bro?
I'm working on the last one.
My man had a goal to drink all the Capri Suns. There's always a food related highlight here at Literally Anything Podcast.
Nah, because I knew you was gonna cook me if I ate my dinner on here.
No, listen, bro. At this point, it's a thing. We have people literally tuning in to see what you're going to eat on any given week. So, like, I'm not even mad at it. You done made it a bit. Like, fuck it. It's in the show. Just bring your grub, bro. Like, it is what it is.
A mess. Yeah, you got to do it like this.
We just rock it out.
I drank 9 Capri Suns. My stomach hurts so bad, bro, but I got to.
At some point, that's going to come back to haunt you.
Oh, my God. Every time I go outside and do my little aromatherapy, I come back and just eat wild shit, and I just can't control myself.
It clear you, yeah. Ain't nothing you can do. It is what it is. All right. So earlier in the week, right? For those of you who are listening, make sure you go join the Facebook group, Literally Anything Podcast Facebook group for the people. Please look it up. It's a private group, but I'll let you in. I throw like little stuff up there throughout the week. This week, I put up a link to an article. It says social media lifestyle, 7 habits of highly addicted social media people. And I went through the 7 and I realized that almost everyone I know has at least one of these habits. Like, I don't really know a person who doesn't have at least one of these. The National Center for Addiction is actually recognizing social media addiction as a real addiction. Like, they're in the process of solidifying that as an actual diagnosis.
Get off the phone, crackhead.
I mean, to be honest, you know why I believe that it is, though, and I think people don't understand that the mental part is that there's a part like that. If you're not on social media, there is a thing where, you find other ways to direct your energy. But the thing about social media is, there are several types of social media people. You have people who just like to be on there for kicks and giggles. You got people who actually post all day about to take a shit, about to eat a candy bar. Let me tell you what happened to me at work. I'm about to go on vacation for 2 weeks. Come rob me. And how about this and how about that?
Come rob me is wild.
Come rob me, right? Because you telling them we in the Florida Keys eating McDonald's right now, so you can go ahead because we ain't there. Absolutely, the doors unlocked.
Is people who like post like on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, and then they tag their location. Cool, because I do that every now and then too. But when you live like in a developed, like for instance, if I try to put a post and then tag my location from my apartment, is going to tell people exactly my apartment. Like there's 3 apartment buildings in my complex. Like there's 3 high rises. And there's the north building, the east building, and the west building. it would come up the blah 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 North Building,
Right.
and people still like really be posting their shit. Y'all niggas
That's
call me
crazy.
Rich every day. I'm surprised I ain't get ran down on yet.
But we don't never say he rich and he live in such and such. And to be fair,
Hey, yo, hold
you
on.
always laugh us off anyway, so they probably think we just talking shit. But
So started
really
the new gig this week. The two things. Started the new gig this week. And the one case manager was like, like I forgot to do an SEO lesson, so we're just going to get to know Mr. Hood. So I was like, oh yeah, cool. Went in there. She had some questions already written out.
mm-hmm.
She asked the questions like, oh, does this make sense? Like, what's the real answer? Blah 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 blah. So the question was, how many countries has Mr. Hood been to? 1, 5, 7. Or 12 plus. And then young boy, this kid is the funniest kid ever. He's like in 4th grade. He was looking at his paper, and then he looked at me and he was like, nigga look like he got money.
Hey, listen, man. You can't help what you exude. I be trying to tell you.
I was mad as hell.
Yeah, I know you was. Yeah, I know you was. That's hilarious.
Secondly, Bob drives a Grand Mariner, like a 1986 white Grand Mariner, and he got 20s on them. Shits is on dubs.
Gotta love that. All right, so listen, I'm gonna go through this with y'all, and we're gonna go through these 7, and y'all tell me if it connects to y'all or not as we go through these 7 habits.
We do put a finger down.
Yeah. Well, all right. You log in very often, wasting time with unproductive browsing. Yeah. That's you putting the finger down for that. Okay. All right. Let's get to number 2. You constantly check your notifications and update your status. Now, see, I don't always update. I don't update often. I do check notifications here and there, but I don't do either of them all the time. So I'm not gonna say that.
I think I post, but like I said, when I think of update my status, I guess that is posting. But if it wasn't for probably business or promoting business, I would say no, because to be honest, mine is quite general. Like my mom had told me, she was like, people don't even know you have a daughter. Like literally, I probably don't post things that are very personal about me. So when I did a transparency post, people was like, oh, I didn't know that.
Right. See, but I don't think business counts, because if you take away literally anything post, I might not post at all. I might post like once a week, if that much, if it wasn't for
but that's what I'm saying. And even before I had a business or something that I felt like I wanted to promote, I didn't really post like that. Now I'm an avid, like, damn, look at them, and then go to their page, and their page that's probably in the way. But
you still sipping these fucking Capri Suns, talking about your stomach hurt.
Yo, he's smashing them Jones. Look,
cooked that last one.
But guess what? He grabbing them Jones like baby bananas and shit. Look, he like.
My stomach hurts so bad.
Oh God. Oh, that's funny as hell. All right, so we got one down. Still, we good on constantly check. Social media functions as an escape from the real world. I would I guess.
I actually totally agree. You know why? Because I feel like social media allows you to be somebody else. And you ever see somebody off of social media and be like,
yeah, when I got
they look nothing like that. And the scary part is they're allowing us to be more and more who we are not. Like the filters, you be scared when you see somebody got connected dots and shit on their face. You be like,
oh man, between filters and mask. Like, I'm so glad I ain't out here trying to get a woman on these internet streets. Goodness gracious. You fuck around and been lied to often. Like,
I mean, don't get me wrong. I got don't get me wrong. I got my Florida fro going on right now. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is not what I was trying to do. Damn.
Hey, listen, it is what it is. No worries. All right, hold up. Let's keep the list going though. If you can't get on social media, you get agitated. That is not true for me at all.
No, I'm not.
I will simply find something else to do.
Yeah, like I'm gonna just find something else to do.
You get agitated when you can't get on, bro? That's you?
It's more so like in instances where I like You ever be in the elevator and not realize somebody got on and your phone is in your pocket? And you don't want to just go in your pocket and just get on social media because you don't have to talk to this person.
Right. You rather it be in your hand organically when they got on, and it's like I
Exactly.
already wasn't paying you.
So
no
you
mind.
don't show them that you super annoyed or be like, don't talk to me.
Yeah. Because I live in a building full of timid old whites. Like I think the average age of my building has to be 74.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So
you
they
definitely
really
got a lot of
do
old money
mean
in your
well.
building.
Yo, I found out that my one
Understand.
neighbor, he lives in North Jersey. He only rents an apartment here because he's a doctor at Jefferson.
Mm.
So he was like, I didn't want to work in New York City. Taxes are too crazy. The New Jersey hospitals don't pay good enough. So the next big city is Philly. He does his like 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off or whatever, comes here to sleep.
Okay.
And then the 2 weeks he's off, he's with his family in North Jersey.
He's getting a lot of money if that's his side crib.
I was gonna say he getting a lot of
crib
pussy.
is his side crib, is if he lives with your John, and that's like the side crib,
and he got the 2-bedroom.
He eating good. He eating good in the neighborhood for sure.
He
but as for that other thing you said, yeah, he definitely probably has a whole nother life too.
Taking them nurses down.
That if he could bring them somewhere else, he like, you trying to slide to my crib, baby?
Yeah, my crib. Yeah, this is where I stay.
It's not a picture of his family in that whole bitch.
That's crazy. So all these numbers that I'm giving y'all have like little
point
blurbs behind them. No, not point values, but they just have little blurbs. Like the one that says if you can't get to social media, you get very agitated. It said if you become anxious over time spent away from your device or without an internet connection, and your dependency on social media platforms may have gone beyond normal limits. So I
will say I don't get like withdrawal from being on social media, but I 1000% have phantom phone syndrome. You know what that is?
Explain.
So phantom phone syndrome is a very real phenomenon where you feel like your phone won't be nowhere in sight and you feel that shit vibrate in your pocket.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what that is. That's real. That is definitely a thing.
So that is absolutely, in my opinion, reminiscent of having, or not necessarily social media addiction, but more so like an attachment to your device.
Right. And that's what it is. I think it's a device thing more than the actual
all
the things you do with your device.
Because like if you leave your phone at home, you be trying to have this thing like, do I go back to get my shit? Like, do I take? Yeah. You think they know if I left?
In the last 3 years, how many times have you been late to work because you had to go back and get your phone? I can tell you, for me, it's at least half a dozen. Like it might be more than that, but I can think of at least 5 or 6 times right now off rip in the last year or two where I was like on my way to work. Nope, can't go. Got to go back.
I mean, I left my phone. Here's the thing. I did leave my phone home recently. Have I done it in a long time? Probably not. But I know my phone had broke recently, so it was damn near like I ain't have it. And I tried to like kind of wing it, and it was definitely weird because then you go to check in your bag and shit, you like, oh, my phone broke. Mm-hmm. Let me use the work phone. So it's kind of like that type of thing. But I think we've grown so accustomed to having them where you just started detaching everything. Like everything's connected. Your lights, the Alexas, your car may be connected. So if you don't have your phone, even paying now, you're shit out of luck. Like it's like one of them things where, you leave your baby at the crib and shit. Like your mask, like now your requirement is to have your mask, your baby, and your phone. Like you need all those things now in COVID because it's like
now people start their cars, getting their cars and all that with their phone.
Yes, with your phone. Like all of that. I just think we've become, and I think even with the ones that say I'm not addicted, while they think it's some badge of honor not to be on social media, you need your phone for everything. Like they've just made it that vending machines. Use your phone to pay. No. They like no, because in the QR code shit.
Mm-hmm.
The
everything
movies
come through their phone. Yep. Absolutely everything go through their phone.
And you be lost without your email, like I said.
They kind of force you to kind of have some dependency, which can translate easily into an addiction in and of itself. So
it takes
it's
21
kind of one of those
days.
things.
So you figure, like,
Yeah, so that's
21 days
nothing.
develop a habit. So you be like, damn.
Them 21 days
Messed
will be
up.
over before you know it.
Well, you know how even when people want to go on your phone, like the fact of is that that's almost like cracking itself, like females and males. Like your joint sitting there, right, and it's killing them. Like to try not to look low. They like,
See, the whole thing is now it used to be a thing where it's like the only thing you could go on somebody's phone for was like who they calling, who they texting. Now it's like who you calling, who you texting, what's your cash app pin, what's your email
what
address,
you looking
what's
at?
like
Who you
it's
looking
so
at?
many things that are deeper and more personal stored on your phone now. Your phone really is something that you got to
Oh
protect
damn,
in
she
that
said
way.
pay the meter with your phone. You're right.
Facts, and you
Yep.
do that. You absolutely do that. Yes, you absolutely pay the meter with your phone. It's a real thing.
So
Like
it's just kind of like everything has converted, and so now it's like even school, they got Parent Square app, and there's an app for that, app for
Parent Square is
this.
my favorite. I love Parent Square. Like as an educator and a person who Parent Square is beautiful because I could talk to 172 people in one click, and I don't gotta worry about whether they check their email because I know they get a notification that second because
Oh
they
my
signed up.
God,
That
yo,
shit is
listen,
beautiful.
everybody's side chick and side dude is the damn school district of Philadelphia. That shit stalker calls you and texts you all damn day. Then
Yeah,
after they send you a text, that John be like 215-951-4003. By the way, we just wanted to let you know that we just sent you 6 text messages. And just
yo,
in case you don't check your shit, you check your email too. Like you won't forget to pick your kid up today.
nobody will be your friend like a school robocall. You gonna know that number, and guess what? It's gonna be more than one number because they know you gonna block one of them. So it's
Mhm.
absolutely gonna be 2 numbers, and they gonna find that ass. If you got
That
a school
joint is
age child,
ridiculous. That joint is
yeah,
ridiculous.
and they call you when they feel like it. Please program it, put it on speaker to show your girl or your man, because when that motherfucking call come through at 5:47, and you like, why the fuck is your phone ringing at 5:47?
And that joint, like,
This
who the
is the
fuck is
school
phone? What they
district
call
of
it for the work
Philadelphia.
phone?
Like,
Yes,
yeah,
that shit.
they don't give a fuck. Nobody cares. So
That
you should
joint
be
was
used
like,
to that.
hello, good evening. This is Dr. Height. I just wanted to let you know that today's school lunch will be. You like, who the
Bruh, it's 3:37. Yeah. All right, so we gonna get back to this list real quick. Now, this one right here, I'm gonna read the whole thing, and then y'all tell me if it's something you do or guilty of.
Mhm.
Number 5, you plan your social media posts in advance. You go places just to take selfies, get distracted during daily activities by thinking about how you plan to describe them later on social media. You may have trouble staying present and alert in your everyday regular life due to planning of social media pictures and posts.
I got that shit bad.
God damn.
You know
You know
why?
what? I think
Because
women do that a little more than we do. I think that's something y'all might be a little more guilty
the
of than we
reason
are.
why I had that bad is because usually, like, I'm somewhere and I'll be like, yo, like, I could post this or I could use this as that, or either you
Right.
could try and get a good angle, like wait till I post this John. And I even like have written out captions and shit beforehand, like I'm with this John or whatever. Like, so that's a little bad. Like, yes.
I will admit this. I'm like that with shoes. My shoe posts are immaculate. I don't give a fuck about like anything I post. The only thing I care about is that it sounds like a coherent English sentence and it's mostly spelled correctly. Because I ain't worried about nobody talking shit about the way I spell because I'm smart. So if I misspell something, I promise you it was an accident or I just didn't give a fuck. I don't care about that. But like as
Wait,
far as my posts, shoes. Those are the ones that I take the most time with. Every now and then I might take a picture like, no, that was dope. I'll throw it up. But
Mm-hmm.
like the only thing I really calculate and put together, like when I buy a new pair of sneaks, I know I'm going to somebody's social media with the motherfuckers. I might put like a little pop on them, how I'm gonna present them or whatever the case is. But if I
No,
buy
I
new sneaks, I'm going to
understand.
social media with them. Anything
So
else, I don't do that with, but I do
no,
that
you
with.
ain't never lied. So let me ask you something. Do men care about how they body look like on social media?
I
I
don't.
mean,
You
I'm
on
me.
you
If
on
you
get
know
the
me in
stomach,
real life, you getting all this. Yeah.
right?
Like it
Yeah, I
is
don't
what
go in the
it is,
pool.
bro.
I don't go in the pool with no shirt on.
I hate that.
Uh,
Yo, I talk,
So
yo,
so 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 that bone crusher shit was drawn.
Bone Crusher, but Bone Crusher, he a BB, he a SSBBW.
He said, outside in
He's
the pub and they think I'm a
dummy.
bum.
Yeah, no, Ball was wilding, but to each his own. He knows somebody who like it. That's the thing you gotta remember.
I'm gonna do it every time.
Let's go.
I'm gonna do
Big
it every
boys out
time.
here letting it go.
I
It
mean,
ain't
don't
about
get me
that.
wrong. You look put together, but my man John was to his knees and he was like, I ain't never say. He didn't give a damn. Like, he ain't care.
Yo, see, my whole thing with that is like, man, at a certain age, you stop giving a fuck. And then some people are born to just not give a fuck. Like, guy here is younger, and he hit that don't give a fuck already in his 20s. I didn't have that in my 20s. In my 20s, I might have gave a fuck. In my 30s, it was like, now here, early 40s, fuck everybody. I'm whatever it is.
I think for
it's
me,
just
I
what
was
it
always,
is.
I think me being always naturally skinny, right? I went through a series of like times because I was always like either too skinny. Like when I look back in high school, I was like, yo, I was skinny as shit, right? And everybody always say they was skinny. Oh, everybody was skinny. No, I was really skinny. So then when I turned 21, I started like filling out. Like, and when I say skinny as shit, like I had these shirts that I was like, yo, I'm never gonna get breasts to fill this shit up, like, or no ass or anything. So
Right.
I think as I've gotten older and yeah, like probably at 32 now, that I'm like, all right, if I don't plan on cutting this stomach off with a pair of scissors or some shit,
Yo, Jesus, you sound like, never mind. Go
that
ahead.
shit is what it is. You stand up like, fuck it, just shave it off. Look.
Damn, yo, just.
If I can't do that, I gotta just rock out because even with the surgery, if you
Right.
don't get the BBL, that who got 6 weeks to heal, and then if you looking like Willie Lump and shit, after if that shit don't get massaged the fuck out, now you just look like a wet sandbags.
Oh God, yo. A lot of y'all wasted money on them BBLs. We gonna talk about that shit when the summertime come. Cause I'm gonna let a few of y'all show it for real. We not gonna get into it
in
now.
the summertime, I'm getting the BBL.
Bruh, but I bet you gonna keep
Yo,
your
you
shit
going to
tight
get the
for-
abs, John? Or you going to get the ab, John?
Nah, I'm getting the extendo.
Cause they had the what kind of extendo?
Yo, you know exactly what the fuck he talking about.
I'm turning this £1/4 to a Big Mac.
You know what he want his new name to be? Long John
Yo,
Silver. He want to be
Yep.
Long
hate
John
this
Silver.
nigga.
Yep, because I was out here serving
Long.
popcorn and shrimp. It's about to be fish fillet out this motherfucker, baby.
Yo, this
Yo,
nigga said,
listen,
I'm getting an
my man
extendo.
said he want Long John Silver with a pair of hush puppies and shit.
Yep. I owe it to myself. I had testicular cancer. We gonna get it together.
So this the last part of that.
It's the get back.
He going to buy that, John.
My nigga said we come full circle.
Dr.
Hey,
Miami
guess
said I
what?
only want 1,400. I cough it.
What the
when he
what
walked
Thanos
in,
say
they
at the
like,
end?
which one you want? Look.
If it's a wall of dicks, I gotta walk out. I don't want it no more.
You ever see
that was scared the hell out of me. Like, bro, like you just molded him and threw him on the wall. No,
there was a shitty ass movie back in not even back in the day in the 2000s called R.I.P.D. And it was like a fake cop movie that had
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
With Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds is in it.
So bro them got his arm chopped off and shit and died. They brought him back and I was like, oh yeah, we got your replacement for your arm. He was like, oh yeah, I feel it. It feel good. He pulled that shit up and it was a black ass arm. Like nigga woke up with Idris Elba arm on his shit.
That's wild. Yeah, man. No, listen, bro. If you want to do that, that's you know, we support all that shit, bro. I know you fucking around, but
I had dick surgery already. I'm cool.
You know, stop playing around down there.
Yeah,
we done once you one and done. I ain't mad at that. You don't want to keep
under the hood. Fate. Yeah.
You don't want to keep testing fate. You survived enough scares. No, but seriously, like ladies, we're gonna talk about how y'all ain't let the BBLs heal, right? We're gonna talk about that shit. Like, especially when some of y'all come out here in hoodies in the summertime talking about, yeah, like it's gonna be filthy this summer because some of y'all did them things wrong. But you know, whatever. Y'all sat in Atlanta airport for 8 hours straight, couldn't get home stranded and shit, and then you wonder why your shit look like a ring of Saturn around your shit, lopsided in your shit. Like y'all really.
You ever see the
y'all talk a lot of shit about us. Hold up, because now I'm mad.
You ever see the water jug that look like this?
The jug with the crook neck at the top. Yeah,
that's what they should be looking like, upside down.
It's crazy, right? Because they give us a lot of hell for a whole lot of shit. Like I know for a fact, if me and you took our shirts off and posted a picture, it'll be a bunch of motherfuckers on here. Look at these fat niggas here. But
yo, listen.
But you know what? I don't care about that.
Talking about that though, right? So
go ahead.
Maybe y'all can clarify this for me because it's a burning question I always have.
Oh,
so
I'm worried.
Women, right? Always be like, I want to lose weight for my vacation. Girl, for my birthday, I gotta be right and tight, right? You know, or they wedding and shit like that, a special occasion.
Mm-hmm.
If it's the wedding, right? If you already been fat as shit for 7 years, what the fuck is the occasion now? And don't you owe it to them not to try to get in shape because you, let's say you like really big, and you sat up there and you was like, I want to get right and tight. I find it offensive because now why you want to lose weight for this wedding? Right,
because you putting on the show. Because now you wouldn't do it just for the other reasons, for the right reasons, but for this big ass party we about to have.
The fact that I
get this crazy diet.
But am I wrong for that thinking? Like you said, you want to go on this crazy ass diet, and for 7 years you've been eating unhealthy and shit, and now like fuck, like now you want to be like, oh girl, I got to lose.
Why wasn't he good enough? I know a chick
that got fired from this old gig I had when I used to work at I used to work at the juvenile prison and shit. Shorty got fired because she said she was going on vacation, put in her vacation. Then she said that a family member like died or something like that on the vacation. But really, she got her body done, and then she tried to claim FMLA for the extended recovery time. And she got married.
What would you do with that?
She got married on the trip as well.
Damn, she did it big.
The funny thing is,
call Shorty Faith because she did it big. Like she really went to fucking end. Damn.
She be posting those like hard work pay off. Like in the gym today, shit like that. Yo, so I seen somebody post like on her comments. Nigga said, "Your ass look fake, lol," but that's just me. And then she commented with a whole bunch of laughing emojis talking about why would you say that? Because this shit look fake.
But I mean, here's the
thing. Her belly button is like right here.
It did. That's wild. In the words of my man Left, and I'll represent him in this particular situation. Left feel like you gotta be too something to do something. Like that is his motto. He don't want no skinny girl. So in that particular situation, sometimes what you brought to the table, both literally and figuratively, is why that brother's into you. So you should do what the person that you're with is happy with, and that you're happy with it, whatever the happy medium of that is. What your happiness versus they're good with it, and then you do that. But all that extra shit for people who don't care is whatever. Like my wife works out like several days a week, all the time. It's not because I be like, I need you to do this, or because I said something. I don't give a fuck. I told her that from the rip. But you know why she works out? Because she does it for her. It's her own.
I mean, it had to be for you. Like
happiness. It is what it is. I don't know.
It had to be. It definitely got to be for you, because then you mad, like you get skinny and shit, and he go get somebody fucking 200 more pounds bigger than you, and you like,
who look like you used to look.
How you used to look.
You used to look.
And so at some point, like you like, well, damn, like I shouldn't have lost the weight, but. How do y'all feel about, say you interested in somebody and they only post head up pictures, right? Would you ever ask to see the bottom?
I saw that shit in real time.
See,
I saw that shit in real time, and she looked like a goddamn Squid Billy.
She looked like a Squid Billy. Damn. If you look, I can't even.
Like really, because like everything was good, like hair up, but the funny thing is, I was like, I mean, I knew that she was going to be like a 2-some to do some, 3-some to see some type. I knew, But to the
Read
extent,
something to see something is wow. I don't want to see anything. Sorry, go ahead.
but to the extent of which to how she was, how God put her together, I didn't know that. But I'm like, all right, it's cool. It was also like 3:00 in the morning, so it was literally like I just threw a piece of steak in the water and something.
It's
was
the
finna
God
go.
hour, man.
Yeah.
You're approaching the God hour,
Bro.
If you get
I
to
got
7,
there,
use a rep.
and it was like everything from like the belly button down just looked like Ursula from The Little Mermaid.
That's wow. Damn. Like Ursula's wow. Like I don't even know what to do with that. Like that's crazy.
Yo, listen.
And then she got mad at
craziest
me,
thing-
like, why did I ghost her? I mean,
No, listen, I'm not gonna hold you. The craziest thing I probably seen on a dude though was my man Pews was so long he'd get fucking AI straight back.
oh, that's me.
Yo, I hate you.
I had AI straight backs. Well, I didn't hear what she said the first part.
Yeah, you didn't. Say it
I'm
again.
And
Because
he up
didn't
there
hear what
claiming it.
he definitely ain't hear what she said. Yo,
Somebody
I'm gonna run
texted
this
me.
back for you. This is gonna be a goddamn.
Can you please tell him what I said?
No, I want no. You're saying that shit. I'm not saying that shit. You're
What I
that's your
said
story.
was my man had pubes so long that he could get AI straight back.
Oh yeah, that's me. Yo, nah, that is definitely not
Like,
me. I'm
first
a Manscaped subscriber.
His damn grass was so tall and shit. I was like,
Yo,
But
his
you still did
grass
it?
is tall.
You
Is
still
an
did it?
did I still
incredible
do it?
analogy.
Yeah.
You want the truth?
Yeah.
I actually did, but
I did too.
Listen. I actually still did, but what I did tell him, I gave him disclaimer. You need to go get them jaws snatched like ASAP. You need to go get that shit cut off. Like you need to
Wait. So you're an entrepreneur, right? You're an entrepreneur, right? All right, so let's talk turkey. All right. So I want to open a barbershop, right?
Okay.
And you in and out in like 5 minutes. But they only cut your pubes. It's gonna be called Jiffy Pube.
Okay, so Chinese people must be cutting these balls.
Every kink will be going in the blink.
Okay, listen.
I
No. You know what you call it? Ripped and snipped. That shit like.
Oh, that sounds painful. I'm not coming to rip and snip.
Hey, I'm not gonna hold you, bro. I wanna get waxed one day just to see what my girl be going through.
Yo, first off, that is chaotic. To even say
I'm
that
not
shit
gonna
out
hold
loud,
you. Listen, no.
that is chaos.
No. To be
All the
honest,
porn
I think
niggas be doing it.
No. I think every man should get Brazilian wax once in their life. For real. First and foremost, no. Secondly, what I will say is, it's not as bad as you think. When you first do it, you can't go in there with your shit this long though. Definitely.
I thought that's how you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to go.
No, you're not. No. You can't go in too hairy. You can't go in because you won't get it all the way out.
That's
I'm not hairy like that though. So.
No, but you can't go in there. You can't go in that tall because what happens is you're not gonna rip the follicles out.
Oh,
like you need enough.
So then the hair just kind of fold over and then
right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you kind of need at least like this much, a little bit, like, and that's kind of not like terrible, but I'm saying you need enough for them to be able to grip on.
Because then it's just
too low. No. But then, like I said, if you let them get there, they expect you to grow it out a little bit. If you sit there and don't have enough, now you're ripping skin, like a layer of skin. So you got to kind of be a happy medium. But let me tell you something. You fucking walk out of that joint looking like somebody just about to change your pamper with some powder in this motherfucker. Like, legs, like the legs and the chicken wings shit.
I met Shorty before she came through. And
How did we get here? Go ahead.
She was like, you know what I mean? Just take it easy. Like, I just got waxed. She pulled her shit off, and her shit looked like Spring Garden Street in Philadelphia. I was like, why you got all them bumps? I was riding that motherfucker like, this shit feel expensive.
Oh, yo. Wow.
Fire.
Well, the one thing I would say, because too, a lot of people, like, if you got coarse hair, it's not ready for that.
Oh, she was Asian too.
Yes, so that's what I'm saying. The hair texture, I believe, changes that.
B2B.
Because if you got it smooth, you got B2B, like your shit is B2B, like yes. Fucking Durant taco meat shit. That joint was drawn.
If your shit looks like Durant, then just don't go, because that's gonna be a bad day.
Now you got to go to European Wax Museum.
That shit is gonna be bad for you. All right, real quick. I got 2 more in this list, and then we're gonna get the closing thoughts because we coming up on time soon. All right. So we are going through 7 signs you may be addicted to social media. One is you log. We got 1, you log in very often, unproductive browsing. 2, constantly check your or clear your notifications and update your status. 3, social media functions as an escape from the real world. 4, if you can't get on social media, you get agitated. 5, you plan your social media posts in advance, and we are up to 6. You get upset when your online posts are not appreciated. If you are deeply troubled by online arguments or when posts you've made get no interaction, then you may be relying too heavily on online platforms for positive reinforcement. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I post statuses for just to post it. And if I get 0 likes, I'm fine with that. I got that shit off my chest. I don't really care about that. Like that's always been weird to me. Nobody liked my posts.
Nah, I mean, I will say that it does it pulls my strings a little bit when if this hasn't happened to me in a long time, like probably like 5 or 6 years, maybe even more. If I throw a song up and don't really get the love that I.
Well, keep in mind that you're an artist and you're sensitive about your shit. That makes sense.
I think makes sense. I mean, I think for me the same thing. Like if nobody likes my art and shit, I think I am a little more sensitive about it because it's mine. As far as like you said, post, you put it up. I mean, I think it's been quite some time that I have posted something and somebody didn't like it. So I think that's where the awareness is built up. Mm-hmm. That kind of me posting enough and people liking my shit that now I'm past the like, damn, nobody liked my shit.
Mm-hmm. You know what creases my
because
J's?
It does hurt a little bit.
I'll give it to you like that. I don't want to say what grinds my gears or scuffs my Timbs. You know what creases my J's? This is what makes me mad. When I put up a post, right, about this publication, this podcast that I do, and I don't get any reaction, but then I put up a post about some real weird, off the cuff, goofy shit, and then I get 150 likes, and I just be like, you know what? I'm gonna just assume y'all not pressing like because I spam y'all with my literally anything podcast stuff. That's the only thing that keeps me from losing it. Like, all right, y'all probably see 100 of these posts a week, so I can imagine if you're not gonna like all of them, that's fine. But that shit, oh man, it creases my J something crazy. Oh shit, we lost Lynn. We're here for you though if you come back. But yeah, that pisses me off. I really don't like that. So number 7 on this list, social media gets in the way of real life connections. Few of us will openly prefer Facebook to the real world, but step by step and decision by decision, many of us make personal choices that systematically cut out our friends and family, replacing them with online avatar status updates and social media trends. It may be a social media addict may have trouble maintaining close relationships and keeping up with real life people. Yeah, I don't think that's something that I have an issue with because I don't like people online or offline for the most part. So realistically, you know, it's the same motherfuckers in both worlds for me. So I don't, it's not a huge deal to me. I didn't see this. I had to post this. Apparently the young lady you're speaking of was dirty because she was supposed to wait 24 hours before giving you that little bit of box, bro. So it was a little bit. Oh shit. I mean, you know, that's hilarious. We are an hour and 48 in on the live. We are 9:25 time wise. Literally anything podcast for the people. It's your boy KP, aka what's your nickel wood. My main man Judge Joe Brown here. Out of rehab, here to join us. Ready to rock and roll. I was making light of Judge Brown being a crackhead. I said you out of rehab and here ready to join us. Bro said, huh? Yeah, no. But It was a wild week, man, and mostly because of the Will Smith thing. What's funny is we had a Will Smith section on the show last week. We kind of preempted that shit without even realizing it. We literally went through Will's entire body of work.
Oh yeah,
and
I
basically
brought up,
came to the conclusion that he's a little overrated, and that's okay. You know, us black folks hold on to shit in a wild way, so it's always gonna be somebody. I know my mom likes Will Smith a lot. I don't know why she always. He reminds me so much of you. Like, Mom, I am nothing like Will Smith's corny ass, but thank you. I hope I hope to be as successful as Will Smith, but I am not like Will Smith, Mom. But anyway, you know, that's moms for you. That's what they do. Shout out to my mom. So we into the closing thoughts portion of the show, brother. It's been a good week for me. I don't have anything heavy for closing thoughts, so I'll let you go first because mine is a little lighter. I actually do have one thing to touch on. Then I got the but go ahead. I'll let you go. I'll let you go first, though, bro.
I don't really have none. I'm in a good space for real.
Congratulations on the new gig, bro. Clap it up for the brotherhood. Started a new gig this week. Congratulations on the new gig, bro.
Yep. And you know what? Thank you. It's cool. Like I'm in a good ass space. Like I think that I'm in a space where I'm like valued and appreciated for what I have to offer. Like my voice is definitely heard. And I think and that's professionally and personally. And that's something that I've definitely like longed for a long time. Not to say that I wasn't getting that, but
right.
Lynn. Yeah. So I mean, I just think that I don't know. I'm in a good space. We're doing really good. Getting ready to we working on this baby shower. I gotta commend my lady because she's been taking a lot of this shit on by herself and
right.
Not to the fault of nobody else, but like it's just her just coming in with the ideas and shit. And like her and my mom have been keeping a lot of communication. That's pretty much it, man.
Yeah, man. So Lynn, we doing closing thoughts. We got a couple minutes left before we get out of here. Anything specific you want to leave us with before we close it up?
I got cut off, but thank you for having me. This was a dope session.
Oh no, you know, we've been talking about this for a minute. You'll be back. Especially once you start dropping some new episodes or a new painting or a new book or whatever new venture you into because you got so many avenues.
Well, hold on, let me put my headphones on. So
okay, go ahead now. See, you lost us completely, huh? No headphones, no nothing. What I was saying was you whenever you get to your next step as far as your projects, whether it's a new book, a new painting, a new podcast, a new episode, or whatever, let us know, man. You can pop up, plug it. We'll get the energy out there to the people, taking care of each other. If you need one of us or all of us as guests, let us know. We'll pop up for you. We got
well, y'all definitely need to be on my joint.
For sure. We into that. We've done some guest spots.
So listen,
so
since y'all can find me. So since y'all can find me, my podcast is called On the Fence with Business. So it's on Spotify. It's on not iTunes, but it's on Spotify and everything else. YouTube. My YouTube channel is called Hot Topics with Lynn.
Hot Topics.
So you can go on there and find that. Yes, and you can actually follow me at _LINN for Denise on social media.
Lynn, you got auto-tune.
Lynn, you sound everything like you're drowning a little bit.
RoboCop.
So listen, Lynn, I want you to post all your links in the group just in case it was as choppy for everybody else as it was for us because it was kind of breaking up a little bit. So you post your links on the page. I'll repost them in the group. I actually already got your Spotify link in the group from earlier, so we'll make sure you get all your stuff out, no doubt. But thank you for joining
breaking
us.
Up.
Yeah, no doubt. That's why we're gonna let you go ahead and do your thing. We appreciate your time. Thank you for joining us, Lynn. We appreciate it.
Lynn, thank you.
Lynn, anybody ever tell you like Jasmine Lewis?
Who Jasmine Lewis?
You ever watch let me think. You ever see Blackish?
Blackish.
I know you're talking about. Yes.
Dre's mom. Like, I'm not sneak this. Like, I'm dead ass serious.
No, I know you're talking about.
No, I didn't
crazy
even
as
know you
hell.
said it though.
Yes. Goodbye.
Lynn, appreciate you. Have a great night.
Have a good night.
So, thank you to Lynn Denise. On the Fence with Business with Lynn Denise on Spotify. I didn't catch the YouTube, but she'll post it and we'll repost it. Always good to have people doing great things. Like I said, Lynn has a podcast. She's good with our guy Sleeves from the Podcast Bulls. Shout out Podcast Bulls. They everywhere. Just dropped a new episode. Check them out. Also, go check out episode number 50 featuring us. Literally Anything podcast for the people on there. It was in the Duke the Barber series. It was a hell of a good time. I appreciate those brothers for letting us up. We'll hopefully in the next couple of weeks get to touch base with them and do some things on our side with them. I'm working on trying to put that together now. But final closing thoughts for me. Two things. Number one, I am from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So I was born and raised. It's where I stay right now. There are a lot of local sports teams around here. One of the teams that the city has adopted is Villanova University. It's just outside the city on the main line. They will be participating in the Final Four this weekend. Those of you who know me and who follow this know that I am a University of Kansas Jayhawk basketball fan. That is who Villanova will be playing. I have been receiving dirty looks everywhere I go all week long because, as I do right now and as I do everywhere, I rock my rock chalk all the time, bro. That's what I do. So let me let y'all know now. And I've had to say this in other situations around the world, and I'm not trying to sound tough or tell y'all, but like, don't pull up on me on no goofy shit over no basketball team, y'all. I'll beat you the fuck up over a basketball team. Like, really, y'all. Like, it's okay if Nova wins or Nova loses or any of that. But like in the words of a lot of the high school young ladies that I work with that make me laugh every time they say it. Don't get too full of yourself. Keep it cute, bitches. Like, I want y'all to make sure that y'all don't pull up and get fucked up. It's a basketball game. It's not that deep, y'all. Like, we get it. We put some passion into it. We put some heart. Sports is one of those things. Oh, don't get fucked up over basketball. It's okay. Plus, y'all beat us the last 2 times we played y'all in the tournament anyway. So fuck y'all for even having the nerve to cut your eye at me when I walk around with my shit. And that was just a small aside. But for my actual closing thought, and I promise y'all, it's my goal to not have this topic on here again, because I heard a lot of people say it's been done to death. So this is my last piece on this whole Will and Chris Rock thing. In the end, these two motherfuckers are very comfortable and wealthy in life. They have problems that none of us can relate to. They have problems that none of us can relate to. They have problems that we all can relate to. Either way, that shit don't put no money in your pocket, no food on your table. What you eat don't make me shit. Stop putting so much emotion and real energy into these things. It's entertainment. Let's be entertained. Let's have fun. And let's move on. Stop it, y'all. It's going to be okay. Because none of this shit, as I tell y'all every week, is real. None of it's real. It's all a bunch of bullshit. So have fun with it. Enjoy it. And stop making yourself all, weird looking on social media and the internet for everybody. It's just not necessary, man. We'll be back next week. Same time. You know what I mean? Same shit. We gonna be on that, having a little fun, talking a little shit, going home. Guest wise, I don't know yet. I'll see what I do as far as guests and lining that up, and we'll get to that next week. So I got a text message from my homie real quick, so you know what? I didn't drop a banner all day. I didn't put none of our socials and none of that in the bottom. Like, I kept the banner off all day. It was a good conversation though. But my man tapped in and was like, a lot of men's worst nightmare is for their son to be gay. Like a lot of dudes, especially brothers, get like very, very like, I don't want him to be gay. And then they get into this shit. Like, you be like, yo, man, you know, yeah, son told me he was gay, whatever, whatever. He's like, man.
Wouldn't let that shit happen to me though.
And they bring that kind of attitude like they can fix it or do something about it. And that shit is funny to me. Because what you gonna do? Ungay him? Like you can't.
Right.
I find that to be the most.
You know what's the wildest shit ever that people go through?
Stand on that shit, bro.
Hispanic people, well, not only Hispanic people, like all people do, but the people that I know or that I know of that have gone through
in your experience,
have been Hispanic, getting sent to like Christian conversion camp.
Oh yeah, that's a thing.
No, but you know what's even like the wildest part about that? Like it's not funny, but it's just like really super ironic. Like getting sent to Christian conversion camp and then getting molested by a man.
Wow, that's wild. And it's happened. No, that's a real thing.
Right. Like that's fucking wild.
You know, but like I said, here's the thing. And I'm done with it after this. Your kids are going to live their life. It's not incumbent upon you to control your children's lives. It's not incumbent upon you to direct your children's lives into a certain place. It is incumbent upon you to equip your children with the skills necessary to make good decisions in a moral, upstanding way. That's it. That's the only thing you're supposed to do. Put them in a position to be successful in life and be decent fucking people. Everything else is out of your control. And the more you try and control things that aren't in your control, the more likely you are to lose the people that you meet that mean the most to you. And I'll leave it at that. That's just kind of where I'm at with it. Not gonna do a whole think piece on it. Hey yo, stop. If your shit is more than a paragraph, I didn't read your post. Stop it, y'all. Stop with these dissertations and y'all. And shout out to my man Sean, Village Sturdy, liaisonlife.com. You already know what that is. My man put up a post and had them in their feelings like, yo, why y'all writing college exit essays on Will Smith, Chris Rock, and thinking people reading them? It was niggas putting up some crazy long posts, bro. Like I seen some. Like, nah, bro, you got to put your phone down.
Them
like,
niggas don't know you. Them niggas don't know you.
Ayo, if some of them shits I woke up to, and I get up at 5:30, 5:45, depending on the day, but I'm up pretty fucking early, and I woke up to shit that had been posted for hours. like, Doug, you studied it overnight? Like, what did you do? That shit was wild, man. But either way, man, like I said, literally anything podcast for the people. We out of here, y'all, man. I don't really have nothing else for y'all, so I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all get back to y'all Thursday.